on. Well, teaching kids about poetry is not just about Shakespeare and Keats. A group of students from Western Sydney are turning the literary world upside down through Poetry Slam, and it's a little bit more rap than Romeo and Juliet.
My Australia is beach waves in my sun-kissed hair.
Boys told to be strong but not taught. Boys told to not cry, but what for?
Your world, your words, the scary things our brains are animated to think.
It's called Real Talk, and it's very real. What are you hearing from other people's poetry today?
A lot of vulnerability and a lot of strong people.
Claudia was a student in the city's west before moving further south to Kirrawee.
I moved to the Shire a couple years ago and I just found like a big culture shock in moving, and it felt like two different worlds, and I really wanted to portray that in my poem.
My Australia lit up with red lanterns while I tried a mooncake for the first time on a Chinese New Year's.
From the suburbs of Sydney to Iraq, Normina's poem is about her father.
I sometimes believe we both died that day. أنا لا أخاف عليك لأني أعلم أنك قوية. There is no one like you.
She spoke almost no English when she arrived a year ago, but has thrived at Fairfield High School. What do you think he'd make of your life here in Australia now?
Australia changed me to better. So I never thought that I'm gonna one day learn English and perform a poem. So it was so good, and I'm lucky I'm in Australia.
From race, religion to everyday, this is a snapshot in stanzas of life in Western Sydney.
Ever since I did the unit of poetry in term 2 of this year, anywhere I possibly can, I've been doing little poems here and there for anything. Like I did one for Cross Country Carnival, I did one for when I went to Kmart with my friend, and just stuff like that.
Remember, crying isn't weak, but trying nothing is.
This poem about masculinity saw Corrado hope through to the finals.
It's a new way of doing it. A new way that those kids in there can really sink their teeth into, really appreciate and really grow from.
And each time a poem resonates...
The clicking is basically like you click when you relate to a line, or you think that it fit really well to show the person your support for their poem.
Often the story behind the speaker is just as compelling. Vlad, that was amazing. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to Australia.
I'm Vlad, I'm 16, I'm from Ukraine. I came 7 months ago because of the war.
When you came to Australia, you didn't speak much English. Did you imagine that 7 months ago you'd be here performing Poetry Slam?
No, it's very good for me. It's a very good experience for everyone.
When he came to Liverpool Boys, he was really quiet and shy, and I actually tried to get him to attend a Macbeth performance, and he was quite reluctant to do that. And when we put the call out for this Poetry Slam and we got him in, I'm just so proud at how far he's come in the 7 months.
Now today, the national finals. Do you think sometimes voices aren't heard properly, particularly, I want to say kids, that makes me sound old, but kids your age?
Yeah, definitely in a political sense too. When people look at you and you're so young, it feels like your voice doesn't matter.
Here they do, and soon the rest of Australia will hear them too. So many deep topics being covered in that room. What have you taken away from today?
Young people are smart. They're clever.
So clever, so talented, that group of people. And the room was so supportive too. Lots of clicks, lots of claps for those poems. And the national finals will be held in the Parramatta Riverside Theatre in Sydney tonight. And if your school wants to get involved too, we'll put all the details on the Sunrise website of that Poetry Slam competition, because it is national. And just so good. I was so inspired by all of them.
Eddie, that is just the most brilliant story. They're so impressive. I feel like the world is in good hands.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
it was just so good. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Great messaging. Thank you. Stay with us. It's been a big morning in Hollywood. 5 Aussies have been nominated for a gold